Hey guys, I'm Bryson here. Welcome to my show. And by the way, I'm gonna be honest here, I kind of feel left out, okay? Why? Because I don't understand anything about the NFL. I don't even understand the game. I've played Madden like once or twice in my whole lifetime, and I've never actually watched anything except the Super Bowl commercials, okay? I'm one of those guys here, but I'm always big on finance. So although I don't know the sport, well, I want to see exactly how these men here go ahead and receive so much money very early on, $1 million, and how they go ahead and spend it. So this video right here is by GQ, and it's how rookies go ahead and spend $1 million. Now this guy right here is named Justin Jefferson. Do I know this guy personally from the sport game? The answer is no, I'm sorry. If you're really, really famous, I'm sorry, I guess, but yeah, I don't know, but I do know money, and that's what I want to learn about in this video every single time I come on here, okay? So without further ado, let's find out exactly what Justin here does or did with his first $1 million. And by the way, if you guys are new here, I post videos every single day, so make sure to also subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified, and on top of that, also destroy the like button, okay? Without further ado, let's see exactly what the vibes are like, okay? How do you spend $1 million? Okay, that is awesome.
NFL football player. I ain't have any jobs growing up. I was luckily the one that have two good parents to support me, so I didn't.
And by the way, that is awesome. You know, when you have parents to support you and you have like this like massive commitment, which is basically an NFL player, which basically means the odds of you actually making it are very slim. I always appreciate that. You know, it's all about dedication, but it's also about going to college and basically having like a plan B just in case, because you never know what's gonna happen with that.
I ain't have to go get a job. Go to my job every day and play football.
That's awesome.
I'll take that every day. What's up, everybody? This is Justin Jefferson, and this is how I spent and saved my first $1 million.
All right. You know, I love this thing that GQ does because basically it used to be how I spent, now it's how I spent and saved. And you know, I love how people now are growing up, making a lot of money, and understand that, hey, if I don't save this money or invest this money, I'm gonna have a problem here. According to Mayweather, he has 7 skyscrapers in New York, okay? So potentially, he also makes a lot of money. So that's awesome, okay? But let's hear how Justin did it.
I'm from St. Louis, Louisiana, small town in Louisiana. Growing up, I just wanted to be playing either football, basketball. I played every sport besides soccer, get an insight on everything, but I knew I was gonna be a football player.
Yeah. And it kind of clicks. When you find what you really want to do, it clicks. When your parents support you, it clicks. All these things reinforce you. When I found out I wanted to be a YouTube guy, I didn't really have that type of support. So I stopped for a while, really long time actually. And then when I said, I'm going to do this, that's all I needed. A few words of encouragement goes a long way. So encourage your friends if they're really good at what they say they want to do.
My 2 of the brothers went to LSU, so, you know, me going to the...
And even if they're not, you say, hey, if you work really hard at this, you could get better at this, you know, but don't just shut people down when they tell you this.
To the LSU games at a young age, like 10 years old, it was just like a home for me. It was a no-brainer to go there. I wanted to weigh my options, but, you know, LSU was my biggest offer, so...
Yeah. A lot of times the best offer is, you know, the best offer, the one's gonna give you the most money. Sometimes, for example, I remember a story with LeBron James, how when he went to Reebok told him, hey, no, you don't talk to Nike. We'll pay you money just not to talk to them. But he said no. He actually went to Nike because he wanted to be with Nike and so on. So sometimes you might want to go somewhere else, less money, but you know what you want to get. Most of the time, where you get the best offer, that's where you want to go.
It was like LSU or I'm going to go to the smaller school. So LSU every day. There definitely was doubts my freshman year.
Oh, those like the Lakers
stuff.
Am
I going to be able to play on a high level? Am I going to be that high caliber receiver? So from there on, I just grind, never stopped.
And by the way, it's not people say like, oh, these guys have paid so much money. It's not an easy sport, and it's a massive risk. You know, these guys get, you know, injuries in the head, you know, all this stuff. You get an injury, a bad one, before you know it, you can't play ever again. So when you get paid all this money, it's kind of, you get paid all this money up front. And in a way, it's like for your whole career. Oh, not the whole career like Ashley, but you gotta make sure you keep that money, because basically in any moment your whole career could be over.
You know, it's
concussions are no
the
joke.
First ever draft to be held at home. So having all of my family members, all of the people that supported me my whole life to congratulate me and to be the first person in my family to get drafted and to be a first-round draft pick at that, it was.
That is awesome. That is awesome. I think they did the first round draft picks now at home with the whole Zoom calls and so on. Tommy, you don't know football. How do you know this? I have Instagram. I see things. Okay, I'm not like completely unknown to these things, but yeah.
Excited for what you have to come.
Justin rookie contract, drafted by the Minnesota Vikings in the first round with the 22nd overall pick in the 2020 NFL draft. I'm a great reader. I used to suck at reading, you know. My trick is now just like see the word and I try to read the whole thing instead of just like reading one letter, like one word. Signed a 4-year deal for $13.12 million. That's a lot of money, guys. That is a lot of money. What is that? That's like divided by 4. That's like almost like, what is it, like $3-4 million every single year? It's a lot of money, you know. But again, you make all this money, but you got to be careful because at any moment you could lose everything. And by the way, my big thing is that if a lot of these guys just said, hey, you know what? I'm going to grab all this money, $13.12 million or whatever, right? Which is a lot of money. And I'm going to try to get, for example, a return on my money of around 12% a year, which is not that bad, by the way. You make like $1 million every single year. That's awesome. Divided by 12, you have an income of around $131,000. It's not bad. But a lot of them just want to go ahead and spend it and spend it and spend it and spend it and spend it. Obviously, you got to pay tax, all that stuff. I understand that. But yeah, a big part of like, hey, you got to go ahead and invest this money. If you invest this money, you'll never need money ever again. Just do what you love. Received a $7.1 million sign-in bonus. That's awesome.
To go from a college kid.
It's almost $20 million.
Kid that, you know, doesn't really ask for much, don't really buy much, and then, you know, have millions of dollars in his bank account. It was crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. That's why you need the knowledge, man. I think a big aspect of doing what you want to do in life is also being prepared for when that time comes, having that connection, you know. Understand that, hey, if I don't want to do this, I'm going to need a financial advisor, or for example, a fiduciary, by the way, or I'm going to have to like learn a little bit about money.
What I'm so grateful for, I have family to guide me through all of that. Definitely had to go get a financial advisor, lawyer. Awesome. I mean, but I'm not a big money spending person, so I know how to handle my money.
That's awesome. But it's not about spending money. It's about investing your money. And a lot of times you get all these people that have advice for you, but, you know, like your family members, all this stuff. But if they never dealt with that amount of money, how can they help you sometimes? You know, you need like advice that makes sense.
Being one of the top rookies in the league, you know, you have a lot of endorsements. Just keep on rolling through the endorsements, trying to get as much money as you can off of that, so you ain't gotta ever live off the game checks.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we talked about how we made and saved my money. Now
I like how these people are getting so smart, man. These guys are getting, I say people because basically artists and also like people that did sports, for example, like boxers, like, you know, you had Mike Tyson. They went broke, you know, because they didn't know how to manage their money. Well, he also got robbed and so on, but it was like a lot of spending.
Let's talk about how I spent my money.
Jewelry. It's one of those things, you know. You gotta have that look. Do I care here? No, I don't care about this stuff, you know, because the thing is, a lot of these guys, they need to have this look. Do you need to have this look? Probably not, but it means something to them. And also like the whole look of the NFL and all these guys. So I get it. Not as long as it's not more than like $20,000. I'm not really mad about it.
No, I definitely had to get a little bling bling from, you know, I'll say about 50 on jewelry.
$50,000. That's insane, man. $50,000 on some jewelry. But then again, remember, we're talking about he got $7.1 million up front. Okay.
I had to get with Leo Frost in Houston. He did a lot of guys at LSU, and you know, we just build our connection over time.
And by the way, a lot of these guys, they get like $50,000 for the jewelry, but they get a massive discount, and the appraisal is just high because they have that connection with the whole jeweler. So never really believe what the jewelry is actually priced at. It's not really the real price, not really the real value.
He was thinking about a jet piece like while I was in college. So when I got to the NFL, I was able to get the jet piece. And pinky ring, you gotta go with the pinky ring. It's got a little index ring. It goes together.
I don't like rings. You know, the only ring I have is like this rubber ring that symbolizes my engagement or whatever, but I hate rings. I can't stand it. I can't stand jewelry around me. Like I bought this watch. Very expensive, by the way. A lot more money than all this guy's jewelry here. Just kidding, it's like $15. But yeah, like I like because it keeps like track of time and stuff like that. But I wouldn't buy a watch that's like $1 million, like $500,000. It's just insane.
Perfectly. I think I'm gonna buy one more thing, and then after that, I'm not a big jewelry person. Like I'll buy jewelry. Like
I can't stand jewelry because you have to take it off every time you shower and all this other stuff.
I like you know how it looks, but after a while, I'm not too big on it. I just like the main pieces. You know, get what I gotta get, and I'm out.
That's awesome.
Jewelry, $50K.
What is gonna be his biggest expense? I'm gonna guess probably maybe like a home, but probably not. I don't know, man. Probably taxes, honestly, and his savings, because that's what a lot of these guys do now. Which is boring, but it's good. You know, it's good. It's good.
Especially living in Minnesota from Louisiana, I definitely had to grab some more jackets, grab some more nice jeans and stuff like that.
I think a very expensive, good quality jacket goes a long way. I paid $300, like I think it was like $250 or $300 for my Marmot jacket. Tommy, you're so crazy. What would he do that? Well, I bought it like 4 or 5 years ago. Till this day, I still have it. If I would have bought, for example, a cheap jacket that barely kept me warm, all that stuff, I couldn't keep it, you know. But that jacket still does wonders to me. It's awesome. It's awesome. So it's a good investment. Like a good quality jacket. You don't need multiple of them. Just one good quality jacket is awesome.
So my brother is a really big fashion guy. So he definitely helped me out with some outfits and, you know, gave me some tips on what look good and what don't look good. I have to say I spent about like 20K.
Damn! 20K is a lot of money for clothes, man. When you think about it, when's the last time you spent $20,000 on clothes? You spend $10 here, $20 here, but $20,000 is a lot of money to go ahead and spend on clothes, man.
I didn't shop that much growing up. Like I didn't really have like a whole bunch of clothes, a whole bunch of shoes. I just wasn't.
I'm the opposite, man. I have a lot of stuff, and since I'm moving to Puerto Rico now, I'm like, do I take it with me or do I just sell it? You know, I still have like 10, 13 pairs of shoes that I haven't worn in years, you know, so a lot of those are gonna be sold on eBay for some extra cash for my moving expense or whatever. But yeah. I have a lot of t-shirts though, because I don't like doing laundry that often. A lot of t-shirts, a lot of socks. I have enough t-shirts and socks for like a whole month, you know what I mean? Because I don't like doing laundry like more than once a month. You know, that's why I have so much of that stuff. Mercedes, oh, I forgot about people like cars, you know. I forgot about cars. I'm gonna have to spend the most money I ever spent my whole life on a car when I go to Puerto Rico. It's not gonna be like around $10,000 to $13,000 for a Toyota Corolla. I barely know about anything about cars, but I really want like a nice quality car that's gonna run for a very long time, like at least a minimum of like 5-10 years, you know. I don't plan on switching up for a very long time, so yeah.
As soon as I figured out I was gonna be in the first round, I definitely had my eyes on the AMG Mercedes for a long time, and that was about wait, hold on, y'all gonna have to give me a second. About $150,000. I like
$150,000 for a car. I never understand that, you know. I don't know, man. If I ever received so much money all at once, because you know with YouTube you should be like overtime and like with your job overtime, all this stuff all the time, but all at once, you know, like a lottery ticket or whatever. But this is like hard work also. The first thing would be like investments, you know, invest everything. With that money that I make from my investments, I can buy whatever nonsense I want to, but I would never ever buy anything like that.
I like cars. I like fancy cars, foreign cars. I definitely had to cop the Mercedes.
It's a nice car, by the way.
I had to. That was a must. I got it wrapped.
But you didn't have to. Okay, you didn't have to.
Matte black, windows black, pretty much black out. Everybody called it the Batmobile, so I had to get snow tires. Crazy fact is, you know, I'm from Louisiana. It doesn't snow that much. I had to go outside and play in the snow. It was a must. So the first day I played in the snow, I lost my phone in the snow.
By the way, playing in the snow is not fun. You know, kind of is fun, right? But I did it when I remember when I first came here. I was 15 years old. I played in the snow, and then I was like, oh my gosh, my hands, they're frozen. What am I gonna do? You know, they're like, oh, wash it with hot water, burn in hot water, and I still could not feel my hands. You know, it's fun until your hands freeze, unless you have like fancy gloves or whatever. But my hands were done. Nobody expected it to snow this day, so I didn't have snow tires on my car at this time. I tried to go to the mall or go to the Apple store to buy me a new phone, but I couldn't even get out my neighborhood. I was spinning everywhere. It was crazy. Dangerous too. So then you went and got the snow tires on? Yeah, I had to the next day. Mercedes, $150,000. Damn, $150,000. I still can't get over that. But then again, right? These cars make a lot of money and so on. Can you afford it? Yeah, you can afford it. But I want to hear what else. House, okay. An investment, the first investment here. But a house is an investment to lower your expenses. But your personal house is not really an investment to create for you passive income. It creates long-term wealth in a sense, but I'm curious here because this looks like a lot of money here, right? A lot of fake money here. I have that fake money too here around the house.
I got a townhouse in Minnesota.
I hate townhouses, man. It's interesting, you know, but a lot of people buy townhouses, but when you're this wealthy, you don't have to buy a townhouse. Because the thing is, we live in a townhouse right here in New York, by the way, but it's like you have neighbors right here, neighbors right here, but that's not the problem, not the neighbors, but it's like you guys are attached. So if they have rats, you have rats. If they have a problem, you have a problem. If they have a fire, you get a fire, right? It's a massive issue. I don't like townhouses whatsoever.
Hold on, y'all have to give me a minute on this one.
A lot of money, man. It's a lot of money for a little house.
Well, that leads me back to having supportive parents that knows a lot, walking me through everything, whether
how much did he buy? How much money?
I should rent a place or if I should buy a place.
And by the way, it's not always obvious, you know, because the thing is, this kid is like, what, 18, 20, 21, 22?
I also have a dog too, so condo would have been too small for my dog. They thought it was going to be a great idea if I bought a place instead of renting one, so.
And by the way, if he bought a place where he's basically working at right now, probably not the best idea, because the thing is, if you buy, I think it's Minnesota where he got drafted to, I'm not sure, because, you know, these guys are drafted over, and now they can't stay in their state or whatever. If you buy a house where you're gonna only be there for like 1-2 years, probably not the best idea. Sometimes you use a rent versus buy calculator, to tell you basically if it makes sense to buy or to basically just rent for a while. Renting is not always a bad thing.
We bought like a place like 4 minutes from the facility, so it was definitely easy to get around in the snow and everything.
Yeah, but now let's imagine, for example, he's gonna be there for 4 years guarantee. But let's say he gets an injury, or they fire him, or something crazy happens, now he's not there. What is he gonna do with that house? Tommy, just sell it. But yeah, we're also, for example, in a hot market. So what if the value of his real estate actually goes down like crazy? That's also a possibility, you know? So renting is not always a bad deal. You could always just rent a house. And if you're renting a house, for example, that costs, let's say $2,500 a month because you're a little bit more fancy, and you do that, for example, over a 4-year period, so times 12, times 4, that is around 120K. But again, it's only 120K. But it gives you the freedom to do whatever you actually want to. So it all depends, you know. Again, investments are going to free you. 4 years, most likely you can buy a house, you know. But a lot of times buying a house where you're not going to be there for a long time, only for your job, might not be the best idea. That's why when I'm going to Puerto Rico, I'll be renting for the first year and 2 years. After that, if I really want to stay there, I will go ahead and buy a house. But I wouldn't buy a house saying, hey, I'll stay here after 2 years. You have to wait till 2 years first to say, hey, I'm going to buy a house now.
Season. First Minnesota house.
That's a lot of money.
Was $405,000.
That's a lot of money. And it's also most likely going to be a first, what's it called? A single family home, right? So it's not like you're making an investment or anything like that. And in order to actually get your money back, you need to make like around $4,000 every month. You know, it's very hard to get that type of rent. You gotta understand this stuff, man, just a little bit more.
Interior design for the house, $20K.
The rest of the money, did he put it into savings?
This is everything, man. This is everything. I did pretty good, didn't I? I saved about half of my money, so hey, I'll take it. The rest of my first million went to savings.
All right. So we're talking about basically $665,000 that went towards, you know, like buying other things. That house is $400,000, so like around $200,000-$300,000 actually on liabilities. Is it the smartest thing possible? You know, liabilities probably no. The thing is, if you have $1 million, you want to invest it. With that money, you get passive income. With the passive income, you can buy all the liabilities possible that you actually want to buy. As far as a house, I probably would have waited like 1 to 2 years to say, hey, I'm going to buy a house here. But if you don't know if you're going to be there for a while, it's going to be an issue. You don't know how long you're going to be there for. And when you move out, you got to rent it out, like $2,000. But again, the good thing is the guy paid cash for it. So it's going to be cap rate, meaning he's going to just make whatever money he makes from it, but it's going to be cash. So not that bad, but not that great. I'm not that crazy about this.
I told you I'm good with the money, man. I'm good with the money. You know, we was locked up in the house all day, every day. Can't go anywhere. Can't go to.
Oh, that was during the whole thing, man.
You know, any, you know, clubs, bars, or anything. So it's pretty cool just being at home and just chilling at home. I mean, I'm definitely planning on buying like my own custom house like later on in my career.
That's awesome, man. But again, those things don't really. It's a very unique thing to say, you know, because even Dave Ramsey has like a big custom house, but he didn't buy that house initially. I think there's a lot of millionaires in like just middle class neighborhoods and so on, because for a reason, right? Because they're very cheap to actually own it when you are at that state. But the main thing is, probably would have rented for a while longer, made a lot more investments, and then with those investments, I would buy the liabilities I actually want to buy. It's just a great formula. If you have $7 million at your disposal and it's paying you $150,000 a month, then that's the car for the first month that you actually want. Second month, that covers your rent for the first 4 years. Third month, you do whatever else you want, right? So you gotta think things through. Gotta think things through a lot.
It's definitely a dream of mine, something that I would be taking this and putting that towards. I've actually been spending my off season in Miami. There's a lot of team.
Yeah, so now he has, for example, like this big house over there that he's not even in. You know what I mean? That's what I didn't like about it. You know, sometimes parents have like the best intuition. Not the best intuition, the best intentions, and it's not always the best.
Mates, a lot of guys,
advice,
top guys in the league that are here, that I work with, and you know, pick the brain from. So
that is awesome. You know, one thing I loved about The Last Dance from Michael Jordan on Netflix. If you guys haven't watched that, it's a great series. But it's that you surround yourself with the best, and you try to beat the best. You become the best. If you are not uncommon amongst uncommon men, guess what? You become the best. That's how it is. But if you're just like around, you know, common people, you're gonna become more common. It's just like a fact, you know. As far as like the aspect of becoming like a super crazy athlete,
bring my game to a next level and trying to get all the information and trying to get all of the info that I need to, you know, go into next season.
Yes, sir.
I train with Mo Wells at Brandon Marshall's House of Athletes. Also, a lot of guys in the.
Alright guys, so this video is over. Now we're talking about football, and I don't know any of these names, and for the sake of not embarrassing myself, I'm gonna go ahead and give this video a like. You know, although, for example, probably wasn't the best investment to go ahead and buy a home before you actually knew if you're gonna stay there for a while. I don't agree with that partial right there, right? And it's also, for example, buying is a townhome for that amount of money is way too much money, you know, honestly. But Tommy, he has a lot of money. I understand that stuff. But the main thing is you want to invest, you know, once you that's like the key to life. Just by making 12%, for example, let's just say on the on the 1 million makes you $120,000 a year, but let's say, for example, on a signing bonus of $7 million, for example, you invest that money, try to get 12% off of it every single year. Well, you divide that by 12, you're making like around 70K per month, right? 70K per month, that means you can do whatever you want, right? It's a very different lifestyle. If you want to buy a car, you buy it. Just save some money for it. It's just a step-by-step thing, but your investments, longevity is going to be the biggest thing. Make investments, whether that's in real estate, try to get that 12% from there, or for example, in index funds and mutual funds, try to get that money from there also. But it's all about step-by-step. But you got to invest into assets if what you want is long-term financial wealth. Guys, comment down below though, okay? Am I freaking out here over the townhouse? Am I not? Am I right? Am I wrong? Comment down below, let me know, okay? I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. If you guys want me to watch something differently or anything out there, well, leave a link down below. I'll watch that video and actually react to it also, okay? See you guys next time. Thanks for watching. As always, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified. It helps a lot with the algorithm. Thank you guys so much. On top of that, I have 2 other channels linked down below if you guys want to check that out. If you guys want to call me, check me out my 3rd channel. You can call me for free there. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. And as always, peace. Another video here, another video here.